Daniel Negreanu is one of the best poker players of all time and is famous for being able to read minds like a psychic and take advantage of his opponent's flaws. That's why we're going to show you 10 Daniel Negreanu reads that will shock you so much that you'll be like, how the hell did he do that? Negreanu makes it 46,000 with crazy hero calls and crazy bluffs. We will show you everything.
Back to Daniel Negreanu with the featured table. He's got a pair of sevens against Matt Trout, who's got an up and down straight draw after the flop. Turn card is a 10. Trout hits his straight. Daniel can only hope for a chop. Trout, a 28-year-old mortgage consultant from Wisconsin, checks it over to Negreanu. Daniel bets 4,000. Daniel with a pair of sevens. Trout check raises all in.
I had you on the flop, and you got me on the turn.
He's right again.
I had you, but then that card changed the leader, I'm pretty sure, right? You had like some kind of 9 in your hand, right? Like King 9 or...
King 9?
9, whatever. Take it.
Daniel folds.
You're a sick human.
King 9?
King 9.
I did it again! Yes!
Even when you lose, they cheer for you.
I had you till then.
Queen 5 deuce with 2 clubs, a set of 5s for Torelli. Negreanu was the pre-flop aggressor. He has ace high in a backdoor club draw, and he bets 1,150. How does Torelli play his set?
I think part of Daniel's rationale is that he does have that backdoor nut flush draw, which means he can probably rep huge on the turn.
Torelli raises 2,500 total. Sammartino gives up the 3s, Palafis is out. Luca folds as well. Daniel calls.
Daniel's now put in 25% of his stack with no pair and no draw. He's going to need more runners in the New York Marathon.
Well, Daniel's going to be loving that card. He now has second pair plus the flush draw. Torelli obviously still big favorite with those set of 5s.
Daniel's going to think that's the best card in the deck for him, but we know it's the same as any other club, except the queen. That would be bad. And it looks like Daniel's going to donk lead this. Don't let the name fool you. Even the pros do this sometimes. That's when you bet into the last aggressor.
Blue chips?
Torelli's bound to be a little confused by this.
Daniel's bet 30% of his remaining chips. Torelli may well just put them all in. No, he just calls.
He's either trapping or he wants to reevaluate on the river.
The river card is the ace of diamonds, giving Daniel 2 pair. And he moves all in. We could be about to lose Daniel Negreanu.
Sick part is he thinks he's value betting.
67. 7,075.
This wasn't a great card for Torelli either.
Got ace, queen of hearts or something?
This will be an awful line for a bluff, so Alex might think he's beat here.
It's like I want to fold.
Really?
You have a what?
I want to fold.
You don't have a fold?
No, I want to fold.
Oh,
I wanted to
did you have
fold
ace, queen of hearts? Is that what you have?
I
That's
wanted
kind of
to
what I put you on.
Fold the damn turn.
There is an argument. If you call the turn, you have to call the river.
Ace, queen of hearts might get half.
I mean, it's really hard to be bluffing.
That part's true.
You're special, though.
That's what I've been told.
Alec is getting almost 3-1.
He had 5s?
Ding!
And he lays it down!
Let's get back to our featured table where Daniel Negreanu is front and center. And Negreanu with queen 10 offsuit.
I know how badly Daniel wants to win the main event, but I still think he does too many other things.
He does raise it to 3,000. Over to Ryan McLean with pocket aces. He's another Canadian player. He's from Edmonton.
Maybe this is the Canadians' year to win the main event.
A re-raise to 9,000 from the small blind from McLean. So that action back to Daniel now from Toronto. He lives here in Vegas.
I don't really want to, but I kind of have to.
Well, you didn't have to, Daniel. But he did. He calls.
6,000 more. These two Canadians to the flop. It is 5-4 queen, and that's dangerous. Daniel paired his top card.
You know what I think he's got? Aces.
That is uncanny.
I think he's got 2 aces.
What do you do if you're McLean now?
Well, I'm not even sure McLean has aces, and we can see his cards.
McLean, a little more than half the pot. Bets 12,000 with his aces.
Well, if Daniel is so sure he has aces, why did he reach for chips?
Ace!
Yeah, he made the call.
Give him an ace over there.
Turn card is a deuce. No help to Daniel. McLean checks this time.
You know, I think Daniel's talk has frozen McLean. Daniel
Yeah.
talked his way into a free card.
There's a 5 on the river, and that earns McLean the check mark.
Why would you check aces on the turn? That was such a strange play. You had a straight draw and everything.
If I'm McLean and he's got the best hand, I just want to crawl into a hole. It's like Daniel is flashing a spotlight in your face.
McLean checks it. Daniel checks it out. There you go.
Aces.
I told you I knew what he had. I had a queen.
Wow.
Spooky, man. I was like,
Well, Daniel might have lost the pot, but the respect he won by calling the aces is invaluable.
And an interesting hand, pocket fives.
This will be good enough to open up for a raise, I suspect. Daniel likes to play a lot of hands.
Good enough to get rid of Youngland and Lederer. Lee Nelson sees 8 deuce and puts it in the trash quite rightly.
Wants to take on Daniel Negreanu here.
Action around to Magnus Persson, the Swede. He's in the big blind and he decides that there's value enough to make the call even with 10-8 offsuit.
Well, he does have 2 overcards, luckily for him.
They have both missed that. It's given a gut shot to Persson, but he won't like those spades.
And Daniel Negreanu is definitely going to make a continuation bet here.
It's legitimate for Magnus to put him on the ace. He did bet in early position, but
with a gut shot, it's worth a small call. Well, that may get Persson a free card here.
Daniel gave him an iffy look. He wants to see a river card. So nothing for nobody. And now Magnus bets.
Tough position for Daniel Negreanu.
Weird. Something doesn't feel right. I don't know.
Magnus trying to look as relaxed as possible, like he's definitely winning this hand.
Daniel Negreanu does know that the story doesn't make sense.
Rule that out. I'm so suspicious, to tell you the truth.
And if Daniel is suspicious, that means he's definitely considering a call here. Wouldn't be surprised at all, one of the great readers in poker, if he made this call. And he does. Correctly so.
Yeah, same idea. It was an all or nothing call. All right, thank you. Good one. Thank you.
Daniel Negreanu knew he was either up against a monster or a complete bluff.
Well, a big crowd here at the Rio Poker Room being treated to some very entertaining poker at this final table. 3 pros and a taxi driver. Mike Sexton with pocket kings. And he's going to raise it up to $22,000.
There were 3 ways to get into the TOC: win a circuit event, make the final table of the 05 main event, or get a sponsor exemption.
Negreanu and Reslock won circuit events, and Sexton got a sponsor exemption. Negreanu with queen deuce will make the call. Sexton with the advantage going to the flop. The flop 5, 7, 6 rainbow. Sexton's kings keep Daniel in hot water. Daniel checks. And Sexton will slow play the kings to the turn. It's a deuce. Daniel pairs his card. A couple of more outs there for him.
Daniel's still far behind.
But he is going to bet it. 30,000 chips.
Well, for all Daniel knows, his deuces are the best hand right now. Sexton might have just a couple of high cards.
And Sexton's right behind him with the call. River card is another 5. Sexton gets the check mark with kings up. Negreanu will be first to act, and he checks it now. Mike Sexton with kings and 5s bets 50,000. That got Daniel's attention.
He's betting 50,000 into a pot of 110,000. Value betting this baby. Yeah, Daniel's thinking, what can I beat? And of course, what does he have?
You might have like kings, I guess. It's crazy.
He might.
2 kings?
That is unearthly. Daniel might be an alien.
I just want to see him.
Oh, he was going to pay for the information and make the
How
call.
scary is this guy?
You have kings?
How scary is this, really?
Yeah, I thought that's the only hand you could have was 2 kings. At least I called it right.
What is that a dabbing it there now?
I didn't have any clue what you had. How's that?
I put him on kings and still paid it off.
That was impressive, though.
That was. Nice read.
But actually, no, it was a fine read, because that's the only hand I thought that... Never mind.
Wow.
I just paid it to see if I'm playing good. basically.
Yeah, but you said kings.
Or
If
if
you
I'm
wouldn't
reading
have
good.
paid it, he would have showed you the
I'm
king.
talking about that. Call at the offices all around America tomorrow.
Yeah, give me a confidence boost.
I think the next hand's gonna start. We'll get to it.
Eric Seidel with aces under the gun +1. He's raised to 32,000. From the hijack, Talal Shakurchi will call with king-queen.
In general, it's okay to call with this in late-ish position, unless you're up against aces, you dingus.
Gertavoy folds. Daniel Negreanu with jack-8 suited on the button.
Daniel's getting okay pot odds, and he's in position. He might call even faster if he knew Seidel had aces.
Both blinds have folded.
Play the rush. TJ taught me this trick. Back in the old days.
Back in the old days, before all this crazy technology like Discmans and VCRs.
Top set for Seidel. And he checks it.
Seidel getting pretty tricky here, gives up the lead. Shakurchi shouldn't bite.
Okay.
And Negreanu checks behind.
I think Eric's check there is going to cost him.
Whoa, a jack on the turn. Negreanu with 2 pair. This could get expensive for Daniel.
Daniel's got 2 pair, and he's drawing deader than zombie Walt Disney.
Seidel checks again. Shakurchi with a gut shot bets 60,000.
Somehow Shakurchi's live despite having the worst hand.
Daniel calls with his 2 pair. And Seidel sticks in a raise, makes it 225,000 total. Shakurchi quickly folds.
Seidel's raise looks super strong, and even though Daniel has 2 pair, from his perspective, he's beating absolutely no value raises.
I don't know. Maybe I should go with TJ. Fill up and lose.
He lets it go.
Yeah.
Great laydown from Daniel Negreanu. Seidel wins a decent-sized pot. He's still outplaying some of the best in the game.
Daniel likes to play.
He calls the raise of 30,000. Carry Katz folds. Chidwick's out. Bryn Kenny folds the small blind. Mustafa Cannet in the big. Gets out of the way. So the 2 chip leaders go heads up to the flop.
What do you think Daniel's thinking about?
6-5-3.
Daniel does not have a set, but this is a flop he can convince himself his deuces are good on.
28,000.
Ivan Luka makes a continuation bet.
Small C-bets are in right now, but it does make it very easy for your opponent to float you.
Remember, this event is playing with a shot clock. Every player has 30 seconds per decision. Daniel decides to raise. Well, he's going to get called by Luka with his overpair.
The raise by Daniel might also just buy him a cheap showdown.
3 of spades on the turn, pairing the board. Luka now an 86% favorite. He checks. Negreanu checks behind. An 8 on the river. Luka still ahead with 9s.
Check. That looks like a check to induce to me. Pretty sure Luka's confident he's got the best hand.
Daniel bets ridiculously big, 400K.
Wow.
And Luka folds.
That was not the bet he was trying to induce. Daniel's reputation earns him a win there. Bluffs like that from him are few and far between.
And that win will see Daniel Negreanu take the chip lead up over 2 million. Queen 7 off.
Ugh.
Tarnov's pocket jacks.
Oh, hello.
He raises to 4,400. Nikolaus Teicher in the small blind has ace-9 suited.
Dang, bro.
He's in.
You make me pay now because you know I never fold. That's fair. Okay. Do what you got to do. I understand. I'm not going to take it personal. Here, take it. Take whatever you want. I just don't fold. It's so boring to fold. So I decided no more folding. We'll see. And I'll tell you what I have after the flop.
What you have, Daniel, is top pair.
Check to that guy. He's going to raise. What are you looking at me for? I'm not going to bet. Come on. This flop, that texture. Psh. How many spades are there? 3? Ooh. Scare card. Scare card.
Yes, 3 spades, and we're 3-handed here. Really not supposed to be talking.
I'm gonna take a stab. Nope. I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna take a stab. That's not. Yeah. See what that does. 82. Lots of fun stuff happening on that board. Give one of these. Cool. My dad used to do this to me when I was younger. He gave me the nose when he'd stare at him.
You can't see it, but we're totally doing it.
Tarhanovs does have draws to go with his jacks.
You're the guy who checked queens before in the 10 high flop, so now I'm scared.
River bricks out for Tarhanovs.
Daniel should absolutely be betting this board.
He does, 9,600.
96? Yep. We have like jacks or queens or something like that? Is that what you have with a spade? Is that what you have? Jacks or queens with a spade? Oh, I got it! He smiled, that's what he's got.
I'm smiling because you are talking.
Oh, I love to talk. I don't shut up. You haven't been paying attention the last 4 hours?
Story checks out.
When have you seen me shut up? I just keep blah, 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 blah. Diarrhea of the mouth. Can't help myself.
Story still checking out.
What do you have?
What do I have? I would tell you, except you're not allowed. It's an EPT rule. I would tell you exactly what I have, but I can't.
Call, because you're Negreanu.
I have a king.
No.
Okay, works.
So Daniel wins the last hand of the level.
This is fun. I love having fun playing poker.
Small. Daniel in the big.
Just can't see.
No.
Thank you.
No problem.
Wow, a 4-bet from Daniel to 96,000.
This might seem a little crazy, but these two will be getting out of line some of the time from those positions, and if someone does call this 4-bet, Daniel's got an okay hand and the betting lead at least.
Not going anywhere fast. He's bringing back his 3-bet, and he's making a 5-bet to 150,000.
Can't see.
Three raises.
150.
Makes it a total 150,000.
Yeah, can you see that stare down?
Are we going to see a 6-bet? A call.
Daniel's immediate pot odds are pretty good, but I think this call is going to get him into trouble.
I check.
He checks in the dark, having called a 5-bet out of position.
Board misses everyone. Mike still got the best hand with ace high.
And the betting lead, and he continues for 77,000.
This bet is super small. Have to wonder how Daniel's going to interpret that.
Daniel has counted out a raise to 207,000.
McDonald's teensy tiny bet opened the door just a little, and now Daniel's trying to kick it in.
And Mike McDonald folds the best hand.
Can you show any? No, don't actually, don't.
Don't show?
I'm recommending.
You recommend I don't show?
No, I was going to say show one. No, I was going to say show 2 or 0. Don't show 1 here.
Don't show 1, because that's needle-ish?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, 2 or 0.
I probably shouldn't play this one, but I'm going to see a flop with you. Yeah. See what you're up to early on.
Daniel calls. Deuce, 5, king, 2 clubs.
Uh-oh. Check.
14.
Given bets.
Yeah. 1,400. Do you have a king?
I may have.
Do you? Just tell me. It's fine. Do you have a king? No? Okay, I called in.
Oh my lord, not only was that free information, but Daniel didn't even have to work for it.
7 of spades on the turn. Daniel checks.
He doesn't have a king. You're an honest man. I like that.
So does Given. 6 on the river.
You got a 5?
Do I have a 5?
A 3-4.
3-4. I'm going to bet you $1,200.
Daniel bets.
It's a weird bet, I know. It's a Phil Hellmuthian-like bet, right? It's a Hellmuthian bet.
I played that bad. I'm just breaking the ice. I think you might have 3-4, though.